And welcome back to Bender Field. We start the second quarter, 22-6. The Dogs over the East Warriors, and Ray, Meadville has scored in every possession they've had the ball so far this game.
Yep, quick recap of the first quarter scoring summary. Meadville got a 5-yard touchdown run from Antonio Ferraro, a 7-yard touchdown run from Faison McClure, and a 3-yard touchdown run from Antonio Ferraro. 2 of the 3 two-point conversions were good. The first one was a pass from Fry to McClure. The second one a run by McClure. East's touchdown was set up on a long kickoff return by Freddie Gregory to the 6-yard line. They would lose 2 on first down. On second and goal from the 8, it would be an 8-yard touchdown pass from Vantuan Lindsay to Bamonte Branson. Two-point conversion was no good. That's where we're at, 22-6 Meadville.
Trying to think of a team, Ray, in the last 8 years Meadville reminds me of. A lot of offense, and they get scored upon too, and they have to win by scoring a lot of points. I'm thinking of the Houston Oilers back in the day.
Yeah, the old run and shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what this offense kind of reminds you of, although a lot of times, Houston would have a single back.
Right.
East has gone almost primarily this whole game without any running backs in the backfield. Again, empty set, 5 wide. Lindsay on second and 13, rolling out to his right, has Green in front of him to midfield, Meadville 45, and dragged out of bounds on the far side.
Yeah, and there's no containment because they're running everybody off, and our front four is having a hard time getting across the line. I know they're waiting. They don't want to go. They don't want to penetrate too deep, but they're flat-footed. They can't do that.
But James Silvis slid kind of as he was chasing him down. He slipped on the turf on the far side, out of bounds. He looks all right. 1st and 10 at the Meadville 45-yard line. Lindsay again empty set. 2 receivers in the left slot and a trips package. 2 receivers right. Branson comes over in motion. They'll give it to him, trying to run up the middle. There is absolutely nothing there.
I'll tell you what, Ray, when East runs the ball, they're doing Meadville a favor.
I'd say.
Yeah, Meadville can stop anybody's run. But when they spread Meadville out, when you have 5 people in the pattern, think about it, you're taking 5 people out of the way.
Tyler, I was waiting for him to get up. I thought it was Tyler Parody. I wanted to wait, and it was Tyler Parody who was the key tackler on that play. It's a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line of Meadville. Antoine Lindsay backs up in a 5 wide receiver spread formation. He'll work out of the deep shotgun. Meadville showing blitz off the left side on a 2nd and 10, and East is going to get tagged for a false start as the receivers all went, but the offensive line didn't move and snap the ball to Lindsay.
That's what happened. The center never snapped the ball. The receivers had the right snap count. The ball never was snapped. Their offensive line doesn't really move. They kind of just stand up and pass block. And that's how they play defense on the defensive line.
Gregory... Well, the Gregory brothers, Devin and Freddie, will be the part of a trips package to the left with 1 receiver in that left slot, 2 receivers flanked wide right. 2nd and 16 at the Meadville 49-yard line, just underway in the second quarter. 10:54 clock running left. Meadville up 22-6. All kinds of time for Lindsay now. He's flushed out of the pocket by Barrett Hoffman. He's got a wide open receiver running down the right sideline. Barnes to the 10-5 touchdown. Devontae Barnes.
Yep, they came up again and left them wide open. You cannot come up with the quarterback scrambling. They keep turning their eyes to the backfield and not covering their receivers.
46 yards on the pitch and catch.
That's too easy, Ray.
Yeah, some of the Meadville fans underneath us not real happy, and understandably so, as Lindsay hooking up with Barnes from 46. They'll go for the 2-point conversion now with 10:39 left in the second quarter. Lindsay takes the snap, rolling out to his right, and now floats it in the back. It's the second time
he came up
that he's found a receiver. He sucks the Meadville defenders in and then acts like he's going to run to the pylon and then just floats it over him, as making this catch is Jawan Hemphill for the 2-point conversion.
22-14 Meadville. This is going to be a tough game, Ray, because unless we find an answer, they're going to keep scoring. So we got to keep scoring.
Hey, now the point that I just brought up, East did it on another 2-point conversion, but it was negated by a penalty. So that's their first 2-point conversion. They trail Meadville 22-14. But the point I was bringing up is Lindsay's done it on a couple of plays where he pretends like he's going to run to the boundary, and the Meadville defenders come up on him, and he's got a wide open receiver just sitting in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, Meadville stopped their 3 run plays, but we haven't stopped their passing, and he also can scramble. We're not really putting any pressure on him. And what they do is they send 5 guys out in the patterns. I think we got to start sending our linebackers in on blitzes a little bit if we can.
22-14, Meadville leading with 10:39 left in the second, and we might want to send out the SOS to everybody that after a couple of weeks ago we could be in for another one like this. Meadville doesn't make some corrections defensively.
And, you know, it puts pressure on that Meadville offense because they have to keep scoring, Ray. And I really feel they got to get 40 points tonight if they want to win this game.
Brown and McClure. Brown to the left, McClure near side to the right. McClure is at the 13, Brown at the 10.
Got to watch the onside kick or a pooch kick.
As Lindsay will kick it off.
Might be a good time for East to do it. If they feel they can't stop Meadville, Ray, like Warren did, why not try an onside kick?
And I brought up to now East, obviously they're 0-8. They've been bad this year, but I'll run down their schedule here in a minute. They don't play an easy schedule, especially in Region 6.
Oh, they don't.
So
you're exactly right.
I'll go over that here in just a moment as we wait to kick off. Meadville returning left to right. This time it's a onside kick attempt and a nice recovery by Hayden Potts at the 48-yard line.
Way to be awake, Meadville Bulldogs. But I'll tell you, that's a smart play by the East coaching staff, Ray. If you're having trouble stopping a team and you can score, why not try an onside kick?
Well, here is East's schedule this year, the teams they've lost to going down the line. Farrell, Sharpsville, General McLean, McDowell, Villa Angela St. Joe's out of Cleveland, Strong Vincent, St. Mary's of New York, Central Tech, and now they end the season with Meadville and Prep. I think potentially that could, I don't know about St. Mary's in New York, but that's probably all playoff teams on that schedule.
And it's definitely a private school out of New York.
Journey Brown to the near side to the 45, to the numbers at the 40, and then brought down by Hemphill after a first down run inside the 40 of East.
I tell you what, nice sportsmanship by Hempfield too. After he tackled Journey, gave him a pat on the back as Journey was getting up. You know, kids respect other kids' talent. And it's getting around quickly that this Journey Brown's a talent, Ray.
Yep.
And you and I talked before the game. He gets around that corner quickly.
And I'll tell you, Mike, unlike Vincent, we're not seeing East make a ton of the mental errors that Vincent made against Meadville. 1st and 10 at the 37 of East. McClure, the wing back, goes motion to the left. The give is to Ferraro, and he is swallowed up by big number 77. That's Hyder.
Yep.
Al Zabawe, he's 5'9", 275 pounds. He's a freshman.
Yeah, they beat the Meadville line right off the ball that time. Meadville line just stood there, and they came across, and as you said, they got Ferraro as soon as you got the handoff.
It's a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12 at the 39 of East. 9:47 clock running remaining in the first half. 22-14 Meadville.
Blitz again.
Fry gives it to McClure, sweeping left. McClure then sidesteps a tackle, sidesteps another one to his right, and then falls forward to the 30.
Nice job by Faison McClure. He was waiting for a block by one of his linemen, and his lineman, for some reason, slowed up instead of penetrating into the defensive linebacker. So McClure cut off him and kept low and got some extra yards. Right now, East is blitzing. They're coming across the line with 8 people.
Sets up a manageable third down, though. 3rd and 3. Ferraro and Brown, the split backs left. McClure, right wing. Yarmer Edwards, split right on 3rd and 3. The give is to Journey Brown. Has all kinds of room to run to the 25. To the right sideline, spins off a tackle inside the 15, and it's twirled down near the 12.
What East is doing, they're blitzing, Ray, but what they're making a mistake is nobody's setting a corner. So when they blitz that linebacker, when Journey Brown cuts or Faison cuts, there's nobody in that linebacker hole. If they set the corner, make him cut back in, that's where that blitzer will be.
Kwani Roberts on the stop. It's a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 12-yard line of East on the right hash mark, going left to right, up 22-14 with 8:47 remaining in the first half. Ferraro and McClure split backs left. Fry will give it to Antonio Ferraro. Ferraro to the 5, and he heads in inside the right pylon. In for the Meadville touchdown. Ferraro with a 12-yard touchdown run.
Yep, didn't take the Dogs long to get that 6 back. Now to try to get the 8 back with two-point conversion. 28-14 Dogs.
Antonio Ferraro having a night. 3 touchdown runs of 5, 3, and 12.
It's nice when you're that fullback. You know, you have back to you inside the 10, and then they feed it to you, and you got to chuggle in there.
Yeah, tell me about it. I had Ronnie Hillman playing in my fantasy league last night, and that Anderson kid from Denver bogarted 2 touchdowns at the 1.
Yeah.
8:35, not that people care about my fantasy lineup, but anyway. 8:35 remaining in the first half, 28-14 Meadville. They go for 2. Fry rolling out, looking for McClure, who makes the catch and is in for the 2-point conversion.
Yep, good job. Nice pass by Tanner Fry with 8:35 left in the first half. Meadville up 30-14. We'll be back. You're listening to Bulldog Football on 1490 WMGW. And welcome back to Bend the Field. 8:35 left in this first half. Your Meadville Bulldogs 30, Erie Warriors 14, and Meadville's been unstoppable on offense, Ray.
And Meadville goes 52 yards on that touchdown drive after the onsides kick recovery by Hayden Potts, and Ferraro gets the 12-yard touchdown run, and then the 2-point completion to the far side from Fry to Faison McClure. McClure has all 3 2-point conversions in the game, 2 receptions and a run. Davis, Devin Gregory, and Freddie Gregory left to right between the 22-yard line, back for the return, right to left for East, as Kirk Mumau will tee it up for the Bulldogs. 8:35 left in the second quarter, 30-14 Meadville. Mumau's kick, and he just shanks this one out of bounds, but that was by design.
Yeah, that's a good play. I mean, your kickoff team cannot cover. Just give it to them on the 35, which is the deepest they've been on returning the kick.
And that's where East will start, and that is the worst field position for East so far. They've had it their own 37, the Meadville 6, and their own 45.
And I think, can you decline this?
You can make Meadville re-kick it.
They might do that.
Now, how many?
Yeah, they're going to do that, Ray. I think it's a smart play by East. That's a smart play. They probably said, you know what, we're not going to let you just kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, and that, with their return game.
Yep.
Gaining yardage, they'll redo things here. And remember, every time it gets declined, so it's actually not a good idea to do this if you're as bad at kick coverage as Meadville now, because every time it gets declined, you get bumped back another 5 yards. So instead of kicking off from the 40 now, Meadville's going to kick off from the 35-yard line.
I think this is where Meadville, if I'm Meadville, I do onside now. I do onside right here to 72, and a hard one to 72.
Well, Kirk Mumau wants some instructions. He was talking.
I need another player.
Well, yeah, no, he needs the tee. That's what he needs.
Might be better off just letting it on the ground and squib it.
You know,
I don't know.
I saw a drop kick a couple years ago in indoor football. You could get a 4-point field goal if you drop kicked it, and a kicker from one of the teams actually did it and nailed it.
Wow. Yeah, I got to give Kurt Mumau all the credit, though. He wasn't supposed to be this pressure of kicking all the time.
He's been a great teammate all year for Meadville.
That's a good play right there.
And he kicks a line drive, and returning it is Davis. As, boy, East did something sneaky there. They moved Davis up to the 45-yard line, one of their normal deep return men, and he returns it a couple of yards. A short return of 3 to their own 48-yard line, if that's where they play. They might place it at the 47 now.
You know, be honest, Ray. They got to fix this problem before next week. I mean,
yeah.
You know, Franklin's not a bad team. I know their record isn't good, but that's an important game. Tonight you want to win, but next week's all the marbles.
They set it at the 46 now. Okay.
Well, here we go. He's going to go back and throw or run from his position.
And the shotgun, Lindsay is talking to his center now. He's going to back up in a traditional deep gun on first down and 10.
Went offside there.
Rolling right is Lindsay. Silva's chasing him, flag down, and the throw is tipped by Antonio Ferraro, incomplete as it was intended for Rowry.
Yeah, that's a hold against Erie. They missed Erie jumping offside a little early. They let that go, but they had to call the hold. And you know, the lineman really didn't want to call the hold, but he kept on holding. And Barrett Hoffman was getting held big time.
That'll make it. Let's see here. He's talking to Hayden Potts right now, so we'll wait.
I think you take this, right?
Boy, Antonio Ferraro, nice play on the football as he got the right hand on it to break it up.
Let's see what Coach Collins told him to do. Holding.
I'll repeat the down, spot foul.
Definitely take it the way they can throw the ball around.
Oh, sure.
It's from the 40. So it'll be down back to the 30, all right?
And I think you brought this up. I mean, you almost might drop an extra guy or two and dare them to run the football inside.
Yeah. I think you got to blitz one of your linebackers if you can. Let's see how many guys. They got 3, 4. They got 6 guys going out. That's why we're not blitzing right now.
Lindsay.
Wow. They got 5 going out. Okay.
In a 5-wide set.
6.
Out of the gun, 1st and 26. from their own 30. Lindsey dancing around in trouble, keeps the play alive, rolling left, and throws. He's got a wide receiver open deep, making the catch.
Unbelievable.
No, he dropped the ball. How about that? Dropping the football was Devin Gregory, who couldn't have been more wide open. McClure might have been able to make the tackle, but wow, that's a problem that's got to get fixed.
I'll tell you what, our secondary coaching staff is probably having a fit. They got to stay. Again, what they're doing, Ray, is they're looking in the backfield. When he's scrambling, they're trying to come up to help. You got to stay on your receiver. You can't come up to help. If he scrambles, it's not your fault. That is not your job. Your job is to stay on the receiver.
Wow.
Boy, does he buy time back there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
You got to also probably sub your linemen. They're getting tired of chasing him.
8:07 remaining. Clock stopped in the first half, 30-14 Meadville. It's 2nd and 26 for East at their own 30-yard line, but
you see Danny Bell's out right now getting a break.
Meadville just dodged a bullet. Branson's going to line up sidecar to the left of Antoine Lindsey, who has 4 receivers in the set, and he'll give it to Branson, and Branson will get nothing.
I mean, my question to you, Ray, is why?
Sure.
Okay? Why are they running the ball?
Coming up to make the play was Logan Newhart as Branson tried to take it from the hash marks to the numbers and got wrapped up after, well, they'll give him 1 to the 31.
I mean, our defensive line and linebackers, their eyes get big when East is running the ball.
So it's 3rd down and 25.
And for most teams, that would be hard. For East, the way they're showing, running and passing that ball tonight, whew, got to back up a little here, Meadville.
Lindsey
They're confused.
Yeah, Lindsey is making all kind of gestures with his arms, trying to switch the receivers up. They go trips right, twins left. 3rd down and 25 from their own 31-yard line. Flanked out wide to the left is Devin Gregory. Lindsey on 3rd and 25 sets up a short pass in the right flat.
Got a tackle.
Breaking a couple of tackles, but getting to the 43-yard line was Justice Davis. Got to the 44 before he was wrapped up by Ferraro and company.
I think East goes for it.
Well, yeah.
They have nothing to lose.
And that was a decent chunk of yardage.
Exactly. That was a good read. They're going to go.
As they just got 13 yards on that completion, so they're not too far from the original line of scrimmage. That was the 46. It's the 44, so it's 4th and 12.
Meadville needs to stop here. Now I know what Coach is saying about not playing too many young kids if you get a lead.
Barnes and Gregory split left, trips right. Lindsey with an empty set in the deep gun on 4th and 12.
Too much time or a timeout? Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's timeout, East. Leonard Ford was coming in from the sideline and calls timeout. All
right, 30-14. We'll take a timeout right here on 1490 WMGW Bulldog Football.
6:24 remaining in quarter number 2 on senior night from Bender Field. Meadville with a 30-14 lead over the East Warriors. East is faced with a 4th and 12 at their own 44-yard line, and they chose to use their first time out of the game.
You know, Ray, we scored 30 points already in this first half, and you're still worried about the outcome of this game. it's crazy.
Pretty crazy, and just some of the mental mistakes on defense, and they dodged a bullet with Devin Gregory dropping the ball. Almost like Gregory had too much time to camp out underneath that football.
And, you know, that's what happens when you're a receiver, and that's as a coach you get nervous when a guy's so wide open because you think too much about not trying to drop it.
Okay, 4th and 12 for East at their own 44-yard line as they have trip receivers to the left, 2 receivers right. Lindsey will back up. Deep gun inside his own 40. 4th and 12, East at their own 44-yard line. Right hash mark.
Motion.
And a false start on East.
Yep. And now you see why they're 0-8 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, because they make crucial mistakes. But their passing game is not bad.
When I brought it up, you know, Vincent had all kinds of trouble just, you know, getting their offense set and running.
Now we're looking like they're going to punt.
Journey Brown's back it up deep.
He's the quarterback, though. You got to be looking for a fake.
But I like, you know, having a guy deep in case something crazy happens. But you're right. But now Edwards will come over to the near side. He'll take Devin Gregory as Antoine Lindsey will be set up at his own 25-yard line. It's 4th and 17 now at their own 39. Wow. And moves to his left to handle the snap and gets off another pretty good kick that's going to bounce at the Meadville 36, and it's going to roll all the way inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line, where it's touched by Justice Davis but maybe the 16 now. Davis let it roll a little bit longer and then kind of knocked it forward a little bit.
Try to give it a little boot there with his hand. So Meadville gets the ball, 30-14. The Dogs are up with 6:10 left in this first half. And Ray, another good night for a game. We've been fortunate this year, huh?
Really, the cash game. It rained a little bit during the Bradford game, I believe, but the cash game was really the only bad weather game we've had. All the bad weather's been on Saturday.
Yeah. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow.
Well, Meadville has it at their own 18-yard line after the punt. And they try to go with the counter handoff to McClure, and a nice play by East inside. As turning his back to me, there he is. That's number 12, Devin Gregory.
I think running a counter against East kind of helps East because they're blitzing right now. You want to get out of there quick as you can inside. They're bringing their linebackers every play right now. I tell you what, Ray, if we had a slant pass right now, that could take it to the house.
5:42 clock running left in the first half, 30-14 Meadville. Brown and Ferraro split backs left. McClure on the right wing. They give us to Journey. Brown. Oh, what a cut move right to left, but then Brown with a... Oh, no, that's not a flag. That's a yellow pair of shoes by one of the East players. He was tackled at the 18-yard line. Number 4 for East, that's Devontae Barnes, is wearing bright yellow shoes, and I thought it was a penalty flag.
That was a nice play by Barnes and the Erie East team. 3rd and long for the Dogs here.
Gain of 2 for Brown, back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 at their own 18-yard line with 5:05 remaining in the first half, up 30-14. Fry with a wing tee backfield. Yarmer Edwards split to the left. He'll throw. Blitz coming. Fry looking for Yarmer Edwards. Trying to make a diving catch at the 45, but it was overthrown by about 3 yards incomplete.
He had him. It was just overthrown a little bit. Nice job by the Erie East defense. And Meadville's got to punt the ball here with 4:50 left in this first half.
Patrick Nelson, number 33, came in undetected on that left side, and Fry's lucky he got rid of the ball quickly because he was about to get lambasted on a blindside blitz.
Yep. Right now, East is playing a little better on that series on defense.
Sure.
So Meadville needs to get a decent punt off and cover the punt, Ray.
This is the first time Meadville's punted in a while. As Kirk Mumau comes in. Takes the snap from his own 5-yard line. And it will take a Meadville roll, and it will be fielded at the 45-yard line by Devontae Barnes to midfield, to the Meadville 45 along the left sideline, and stepped out of bounds as Mumau and Ferraro were wrestling him down. They'll mark him out, I think, at the Meadville 40 is where they should place it.
Yeah, great field position for the East Warriors. But they're only 2 scores down, Ray. 4:38, a lot of time left, and again, East gets the ball to start the second half.
Lindsey's punt was 43 yards for East, and what that did was it flipped field position. Meadville goes 3 and out on their own end of the field. Now look at East. They have it at the 41 is where they'll place it. Meadville 41-yard line.
Meadville needs to come up with a turnover, an interception or fumble, something right now.
Branson and Gregory, twin receivers to the left. That's Freddie Gregory, as Lindsey has trips to the far side of the field. Empty set, 1st and 10 at the Meadville 41-yard line. Branson motions right. They're going to set up a screen to the far side for Hemphill, and he got upended by Antonio Ferraro.
Nice, boy. Ferraro read that screen. He was like a cat. He came up, he broke down, then he hit, lift, and wrapped. And that's how you tackle. You hit, lift, and wrap.
That was like that tackle by one of the Oil City players last week on Meadville.
Exactly.
Textbook hit, like you said, lift and drive into the ground.
Yep.
2nd down and 11 at the 42. It's a loss of 1 on the screen. Now Branson is split right with Hemphill and trip receivers left. The Gregory brothers and Rory, as Lindsey will back up in the deep gun. 2nd and 11 at his own 42-yard line, but he backs up in that gun. That's the line of scrimmage. 3:54 left in the first half. Meadville up 30-14. Lindsey dancing, running right, and he's in trouble, and he just throws this one into the turf along the boundary, intended for Branson, incomplete.
And that's good coverage that time, Ray. Good coverage. Now, Faison McClure and another Bulldog out there. Oh yeah, Hayden Potts are conversing about who had what guy. Erie does a lot of things. They cross as they're running their patterns too, Ray, and you really got to communicate. And at times the Meadville kids are not sure who's guarding who when they cross into a different
What
area.
Meadville's done defensively right now, Mike, is Journey Brown's in the secondary.
Yes, and you know, he actually started camp in the secondary, Ray.
He's one of the they're actually running double safeties right now. Third and 11 at the 42 of Meadville. Lindsay, not a good shotgun snap. He handles it, though. No pressure by Meadville. Flag down. Lindsay takes off running, and he's pushed out of bounds near the line of scrimmage on the far boundary by Logan Newhart.
And you know what that hold was? That hold right there was against Danny Bell. He fell down to the ground, and their blocker, what he did, Ray, is he stayed down on him, and as Danny tried to get up, he pushed him down again and wouldn't let him get up, and that's a hold. Right in front of the referee.
So instead of a 44 look, Meadville's going with a 4-3, 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and they're bringing that extra safety back in Journey Brown.
And that's a good move, more speed back there, and that's what they had to do. And as I said, Journey started the year in the secondary.
East attacking right to left. It's a holding call on East.
I don't know. What do you do here, Ray? You take it or decline?
Meadville's declining. I was just going to bring that up to you to get your thoughts on that. They decline the penalty. 4th and 11 at the Meadville 42-yard line.
I think that's a good move. I know it's 4th and 11, but gives them, they're not going to punt.
Devontae Barnes and DeJuan Hemphill split to the right.
I got to play pass. I wouldn't play punt. They're in the pass formation.
Rory, Gregory, and Gregory to the left. Empty set, but Lindsay looks like he's going to punt. He's lined up in punt formation, and he does kind of pooch it. And it will take an East roll to the 19-yard line. I think on the last punt I said Meadville roll. I meant to say East roll, and this time it took an East roll to the 19. That ball almost hit Devontae Barnes, who was on punt coverage for East.
That's a good play by East, though.
Yeah,
because they can pass out of that and they can pooch punt it, and why not? But Meadville, you have to play offensive-minded there. You have to be ready for a pass. So that's a good job by the Meadville Bulldogs too in that series. If the East took over on Meadville's 40.
It's only a 22-yard punt, but it sets Meadville up at their own 19-yard line. Tanner Fry will turn and give it to Antonio Ferraro. Boy, he took a hard shot by Patrick Nelson at the end of the play. In fact, I think they collided helmets a little bit. Might have been a helmet-to-helmet hit, but it's no gain, 2nd and 10 from their own 19.
Yeah, and Coach Collins is taking a timeout, Ray, and that's a good timeout. He's bringing his offense over here because right now his offensive line is doing nothing. And I tell you what, that's why Ferraro got lambasted. And Tanner Fry almost didn't hand the ball off to Antonio because as Tanner went to give it to him, he noticed that 2 East players were across the line already. It's amazing they didn't get the handoff, Ray, and that's why Antonio got blasted on that.
Sure did.
And Coach Collins is not happy right now, if I had the binocs on, with that offense. You know what happens sometimes, Ray? You score so easy, you think it's going to be easy the rest of the night. You got to keep playing.
Meadville has 2 timeouts left. East with 2 timeouts left in the first half. 3:05 remaining in the opening half. Meadville 30, East 14. Ray Reisdorf, Mike Fiorillo in the booth with you. Melissa Doty, our producer in the Meadville studios. And Jeff Corey doing the production work for Armstrong Cable.
John Amato went out there, too. He's one of the offensive line coaches, and I know Coach Amato, he's not happy the way the Lions playing right now either. But Coach Collins has command of this huddle. He is letting his team know that this game is far from over, Ray.
Sure. And you're right, they've looked a little lackadaisical on the last 2 offensive possessions. 2nd down and 10 from their own 19-yard line. They might have just needed that timeout for a quick refresher course. Fry will have Ferraro and McClure split backs right. Left wing is Journey Brown. And the give is to Faison McClure. Breaks a tackle, can't shed another one, and has to dive forward to the 20-yard line. As we've called his name a couple times, Patrick Nelson again on the stop for East.
23 for East is down Ray, getting helped up a little bit by his teammates, but a nice job.
Jamal Phillips, that's number 23.
And they're blitzing. They're blitzing 9 people on the snap of the ball, Ray. They're keeping 2 back, but 9 are coming across from every gap. They're blitzing. They're covering every gap right now, so there's not even a cutback.
This is one of those times where maybe Faison reminds Tanner that he's open in the flat.
That's a good point.
3rd and 9 from their own 20-yard line. They'll give it to Journey Brown, jet sweep to the right. Sheds 1 defender to the 25, to the 30, 35, 40, 45, down the right sideline, he may go. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, still on his feet and into the end zone, touchdown. Journey Brown, 80 yards down the right sideline.
He is special. the kid especially, you know, you needed maybe 11 yards to get a first down or 10 yards. You would have been happy. Journey takes it to the house. No flags. You're going to see this on replay, Ray. And he takes that corner. Nice blocking downfield, too, by our wideout. And that's Edwards. What does he block well? You see him blocking as Journey just runs off his block at about the 40 of East, and goodbye.
An electrifying 80-yard run by Journey Brown, his 16th touchdown run of the season, his first of the night.
And that's a tough one for East to swallow. That is back.
That might take the air out of the East balloon.
See if Meadville can get this 2 point. If I'm East, I'm guarding McClure this time.
Fry, straight drop.
Got him.
And he's got McClure. No, it's Edwards on the far side, open for the 2-point conversion.
Meadville ran across there. I like that. Oh, nice play for Meadville at that time. Who caught that?
Darius Edwards.
Yeah, you know what happened? They split Jamar Edwards out. At the end, they put Darius as the slot, and they crossed, and it's almost like they call in the NFL like a pick type play.
So you running that play with Yarmir Edwards, and then you get Darius Edwards and slide him out into the left flat, and he was wide open.
Edwards lost.
I caught him at the end. Now, I told you that they both got the white Under Armour on, but Faison's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Nice to see Darius get involved there, hauling in a 2-point conversion.
But don't go anywhere, fans. Even so, it's 38-14. We have our kickoff team coming, and then we got to cover the pass.
2:10 remaining in the first half.
I'm not trying to be mean, Ray, but we haven't covered kicks. We can't cover them.
Hey, I don't think anyone's going to take offense to it. I mean, I've heard some of the fans here underneath, especially on some of the kick returns and long passing plays. I don't think they're offended, Mike. I think they're just as upset as
I don't know
we are watching it sometimes.
We got some talented kids on that kickoff team now, but I don't know.
So now it's Devontae Barnes as the kick returner on the near side left. In the middle, it's Gregory, and that is Devin Gregory, Freddie Gregory, far side.
Their deep people are on the 24-yard line. I mean, that's crazy.
But again, last time they brought, they got Justice Davis on the near side. You got to watch out for him. In fact, they got some good middle-level return men. You got Jamal Phillips in the middle, and you have DeJuan Hemphill on the far side. So East has 6 guys out between the 35 and the 20 that are all dangerous return men.
That's why I would kick it to 72.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. I'd roll it right to him, let him fall down on it, and here we go.
That's Sebastian Tompkins, who's a lineman.
Yeah, they got 6 guys who are on the track team.
Now they pooch it. And it's going to roll deep, and it rolls all the way to Devontae Barnes from the 21 over the 25, around the numbers at the 30. And good kick coverage that time for Meadville as he's driven out of bounds on the near side by Hayden Potts inside the 30.
That was a good job. Hayden Potts used the boundary as an extra man, so he just stood there, and he kind of forced him out of bounds with a tackle.
Yarmir Edwards was helping. As Potts gets credit for the stop, too, as the main one who drove him out of bounds, but Edwards was getting some low fives heading back to the sideline, helping force that play to the boundary as East gets it on their own 35-yard line.
You want to stop them here because, again, East gets the second half kickoff race. So you want to stop them here and then either score or run the clock out and get in at halftime with a 3-score lead.
2:03 left in the first half. 38-14 Meadville. To the near side, Devontae Barnes and DeJuan Hemphill are split. In a Twins package, trips right, Lindsay. They'll take the shotgun snap, but a flag down. Probably a procedure call against East coming up.
You know what this team reminds you of? Throwing the ball, Slippery Rock. I mean, Slippery Rock drove us nuts with their spread.
Well, but Slippery Rock's spread was more run-based.
That's true.
Using the 2 slot backs and the tailback.
That's true.
They could throw out, especially when Curry was the quarterback. They really, you'd be lulled to sleep, and then they'd go over top of you. 1st and 15 for East at their own 30-yard line. Another bad shotgun snap. Lindsay trying to make the most of it, rolling out to his right. Got a wide open receiver. It's complete near the 45-yard line. It's going to be a first down. As being dragged down a yard shy of midfield is Davis.
And he went out of bounds, so he got the first down.
Yeah, he got the first down. Yeah, he was in bounds the whole time.
And they're going to hurry up and get on the ball. Again, Meadville needs a stop here, Ray. This game is far from over.
Lindsay backs up again in the deep gun, trips left, Twins right, 1st and 10 from his own 49-yard line. Lindsay with a good snap this time, handles it, throws to the near side on a fade pattern, and making a sliding catch was Rory.
It's going to be 1:30 and the clock moving. East has 2 timeouts. That was good coverage that time, though. Let them catch it in front of you for 4 or 5 yards. You don't mind that at this point. Got to cover. Got
2nd down and 6 at the Meadville 48-yard line. After a gain of 3, Lindsay rolling right.
Going to run.
And taking off, and Silvas drives him out of bounds.
Oh, are you kidding? They're going to call that on Silvas.
Late. Now, Silvas is trying to make a play on the boundary.
That is a terrible call.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that.
That is a terrible call. You don't know if he's not going to come in.
Especially with elusive as Lindsay is.
This flag here can't be on Silvas. If you call it from here.
There's 2 flags. One close to us on the near side, one on the far boundary.
Yeah. I mean, it might be offsetting here. Let's see. That's a terrible call by this referee. Watches too much games. Got both captains here.
Well, the only thing you can hope for if you're Meadville that it's an offsetting situation at this point.
It's unusual having both captains. This is strange. Maybe that's why. Holding East, yeah. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Meadville, offsetting penalties will go back to the down marker. They'll replay 2nd down. The only thing that's good for Meadville is the clock doesn't get reset.
Interesting point. Well, it was the line. They had the line of scrimmage wrong in the score, but the line of scrimmage was the 47. It was 2nd and 6.
You know, this is
at the
football.
47.
Guys are going near the out of bounds. You just can't stop on the dime. You see that in the NFL sometimes too, and it boggles my mind.
You know, I was watching it the whole time as it developed, and Silvas didn't even really do anything demonstrative to, just gave him a little push out of bounds.
I wanted to make sure he was going out.
Well, it reminds you, there was a Dolphins and Panthers last year were in a game, and Cam Newton did the same thing, and then he tripped on the sideline, and Miami got flagged for a 15-yard call. Carolina won that game on the final play of the game.
So he got,
and I believe it was on a 4th down run. I might be mistaken, but.
And then Miami got a letter Tuesday from the office saying they made a mistake. I love when they do that too. After you lose the game or something, they send a letter out to your team. Sorry, we made a mistake. What are we doing here now?
Well, now because one penalty was a personal foul,
and one's holding,
and one was holding. They're going to put East up
5 yards
to the 42-yard line.
That's right, because one's 10 yards.
Yeah, one's 15, one's 10.
Okay. Well,
1:08 on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. 38-14 Meadville.
Gave the defense a chance to get his breath.
2nd and 1 at the 42-yard line as Lindsay works out of the deep gun in an empty set. Takes the shotgun snap. Surveys. Sherrod forces him out of the pocket. Hoffman chasing him down. He floats it wide open. And another diving catch made in the 26-yard line. That is Freddie Gregory, Mike.
And these guys are just float. I don't know who's supposed to guard them, but they're supposed to let him off to the next guy. The next guy's not finding him. That's hard. Meadville's having all kind of trouble with 55 seconds left in this half.
Lindsay, the 1st and 10 at the Meadville 26-yard line. Flushed. Rolling out wide right. Sherrod chasing him. And Silvas chases him out of bounds. And him and Ferraro smartly leave him alone as he runs out of the far boundary to the 22 of Meadville. Gain of 4.
A couple different linemen coming in from Meadville. Give a couple of break here. Danny Bell's coming off. And Luke Sherrod's coming off.
21-yard line right hash mark. 2nd down and 5.
You got Kipple's in there now at defense.
45 seconds left in the half. East trying to put points up on the board before the half ends. Talks to his receivers. They're going to go 4 wide on the left. Nope. Devontae Barnes is going to switch over to the right side with Devin Gregory and trips to the left. 2nd and 5, excuse me, at the Meadville 21-yard line. Pump fake by Lindsay.
Got him wide open.
Looks wide open receiver, and it is caught for an East touchdown.
Unbelievable.
As Freddie Gregory was falling on his backside and made the catch over the plane of the goal line for a 21-yard touchdown reception.
And what happened was he pump faked, and he had a good pump fake there. The Meadville youngster went in for the interception, and then he just turned it on and touchdown. Darius Edwards went for the pump fake. He's going for 2 here.
Antoine Lindsay is having himself a ball game for East so far.
He's going to run it.
Trying to bounce outside to the 5, floats it in.
Good.
And it is good for the 2-point conversion, is making a nice catch, keeping his toe in on the far side. It is Freddie Gregory, who caught the touchdown, catches the 2-point reception on that far sideline. He did a great job of keeping one toe in on a ball that was floated that almost went out of bounds.
And the Booster 20 Club second quarter raffle winner, Jamie Obenrader, and the third quarter raffle winner, Brian Costa.
38 seconds left in the half, 38-22 Meadville.
And to tell you what, Ray, East gets the ball to start the second half, so this game is far from over, and they score within minutes. Again, put pressure on the Meadville offense. Right now, they're not going to probably do much with it, but that defense, they got to go in the locker room and they got to figure out what they're doing on pass coverage.
Yeah.
And
that's got to be the focus of the entire halftime talk.
And maybe you stand your defensive ends up. Maybe you keep your defensive tackles down. You stand your ends up as almost like a linebacker thing, and you rush them instead of keeping them down.
Yeah, they made the one change going to the 4 defensive backs, but East still able to exploit Meadville down the field, at least on that 21-yard touchdown throw. Antoine Lindsay with 3 touchdown passes in the game for the East Warriors. 38-22 Meadville, 38 seconds left, and Lindsay will tee it up, going right to left.
Good boot.
Kicks it off deep, and it will be fielded by McClure near the 12-yard line. 20, through a seam over the 25, and upended at the 27-yard line by DeJuan Hephill.
Meadville does have 2 timeouts, Ray, but we don't have a field goal kicker, obviously. So I got to believe Coach Collins is going to run half out and go to the locker room and try to figure out what to do against their pass. What's going on out there? That's what they got to figure out. But I would take our DNs and stand them up.
And Meadville starts at their own 27-yard line. McClure goes in motion, jet sweep handoff, going left side, cuts left to right, puts his head down, powers over the numbers at the 30, and needing help to bring him down was Nelson, as Hynoski had to help him up top on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to run another play, right? I think we're going to take the half.
We got to the 32-yard line for a gain of 5, and Meadville looks like they are going to take the half as they're going to go into the halftime locker room and talk defense. They might try to get one more play off. There's 2 seconds remaining. Fry quickly to the line. He's not going to get it off. 000 on the scoreboard. That does it for the first half of play. An interesting first half as East has been game. Meadville has put 38 on the board, but the Warriors have 22 of their own through one half of play, Mike.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Coach Collins has got to feel uneasy. He's not happy as he walks off. Your team scores 38 in the first half. As a coach, you think you'd be tickled pink? You get to see his body language. He is not happy with the play of our defense right now.
And East will start the third quarter receiving the opening kickoff as they won the toss and deferred. That's it for one half from Bender Field through one half of play on senior night. It's Meadville 38, Erie East 22, as you're listening to Bulldog Football on 1490 in Meadville, part of the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. And we're back at Bender Field as the Meadville Marching Band is performing here on senior night at halftime from Bender Field. Ray Reisdorf, Mike Fiorillo with you. 38-22, Meadville leading Erie East at the half.